Hello everyone. In this video, I will explain a concept which is called as frequency translation. As the word is suggesting, frequency translation means changing the frequency. Changing the frequency of a signal, maybe a modulated signal. If I assume that this process is done in the communication system, maybe after modulation, maybe before demodulation or whatever, in the transmitter or in the receiver, this process, in this particular process of translation, what exactly we are doing is we are converting a frequency of a signal maybe in the upward direction or maybe in the downward direction. That is, the frequency of the signal is either increased or decreased depending on the requirement. So this process is actually called as frequency translation. Now, see, we have studied a SSB modulation already, and in the SSB modulation, uh, what exactly we are doing is we are doing this same process of frequency translation itself. Okay, where we use one product modulator and band pass filter and all, and we actually change the frequency of the input signal. So SSB is actually called as a frequency translation, or we can call this as frequency changing or mixing or heterodyning. This operation is called as heterodyning operation or a mixing operation because the two signals are mixed and a new frequency component is generated. Now, suppose let us consider that we have a modulated signal, okay, and it is centered around a frequency of say f1. Fine. Let us say that is the carrier frequency. F1 is a carrier frequency. Now, the requirement here is we need to translate this particular frequency F1 into a new frequency, maybe by increasing in the upward direction or by decreasing in the downward direction. And we want to get a new value to the frequency. Okay. So this can be done by using what is called as a mixer. A mixer is a circuit which is used to increase or decrease the frequency of the modulated signal. Fine. Now, what exactly the mixer consists of? The mixer consists of a product modulator and a band pass filter. Okay, it is product modulator followed by a band pass filter, I can say. Okay, which is what actually we use in the SSB modulator also. But in this case, the difference is designing of that band pass filter is very straightforward, or it is easy compared to SSB modulation. Fine. Now we will see the block diagram of this mixer is or frequency translation processes. Okay. Now just look at this. So I have a product modulator over here, okay, followed by a band pass filter. As I told earlier, a mixer consists of a product modulator and a band pass filter. So this two circuits are actually used to translate the frequency in the upward direction or maybe in the downward direction. So as I told, I have a modulated wave which is, let us say, S of t or S1 of t or whatever, with the central frequency of that modulated signal is f1 hertz. Okay, so that is this signal, whatever I represented in the frequency domain, is a modulated signal, and this is the input. Fine. So we have this as the input. So this is given as input here in the for the product modulator. Okay. Now, yeah. So another signal for this product modulator is a new carrier, which is a high frequency signal with a frequency of say some FL hertz. It's a FL hertz. So AL cos 2 pi FLT. Okay, I want to increase or decrease the frequency of this signal by this much amount. That is FL hertz. So when both signals are given to the product modulator, so in the output of that we get a sum term, the difference term, and all those things. Okay, so we will see that in the next slide, the derivation part of this, and that component is passed through a band pass filter. The band pass filter is used to allow either the sum term or maybe the difference term. Fine. So the output of this product modulator, I can say, is equal to this particular spectrum representation. Now what happens is this entire spectrum now is actually increased by say FL hertz, or it is decreased by FL hertz. That's what I'll get. Fine. So if you want to increase the frequency of the incoming signal, that is modulated signal over here, what we have to do is we have to design this band pass filter which has the response equal to something like this. This is the response of the band pass filter. It should be the response of the band pass filter. Okay. If I want to decrease the frequency from original frequency of say f1 hertz, okay, I want to decrease by FL hertz. Let us consider in that case to design this band pass filter with response something like this. This should be the response of a band pass filter. So depending on the band pass filter, I can either I can choose this particular spectrum or this particular spectrum. So here the frequency is increased. Okay, in this case the frequency is decreased by FL hertz. This is just a mirror image of those two frequency representations is. Now we will understand this concept by using a derivation. Okay, so I consider a modulated signal. Let us say the modulated signal is a DSB SC signal. It can be a DSB SC signal, it can be a DSB FC signal, or it can be any kind of amplitude modulation, or it may be a frequency modulation also, because we need this frequency translation, okay, in all the kind of modulation methods. Now let us understand this by using a the derivation of this particular block diagram. Just look at this. So I have taken a same spectrum once again over here. So let us understand first the down conversion. That is, I want to get this particular frequency representation, or I want to change the frequency of original signal of f1 hertz by f1 minus fl hertz. That means it's a down conversion, correct? Now, okay, let us say I have a DSB SC signal, double sideband suppressed carrier signal, which is given by m of t cos 2 pi f1 t. So here the frequency of the signal is f1 t, right? Let me erase everything. Yeah. So here the frequency of the signal is taken as f1 hertz with a signal of s of t, let us say. Okay. Now, so I have a signal DSB SC signal s of t, which is given by m of t cos 2 pi f1 t. That is one of the input for product modulator. What is the another input for product modulator? It is nothing but it is cos of 2 pi fl t. I have not taken that AC, all those things, amplitude of the second part, AL or whatever. Okay. So we multiply both by using a product modulator. Okay. Now, what is the output of that product modulator? Let us say V1 of t is equal to S of t multiplied by cos 2 pi flt. So this multiplied by this particular component. So I substitute both the terms there. So I get m of t cos 2 pi f1 t multiplied by cos 2 pi flt. So I apply a cos A cos B rule, which is given by half of cos of A plus B plus cos of A minus B. So when I apply that particular rule, what I'll get V1 of t is equal to m of t by 2. Okay. Cos of 2 pi f1 minus flt plus cos of 2 pi f1 plus flt. So the sum part and the difference part, that's what I'll get. This is the difference part, this is the sum part, what I'll get. Right? Now, for this particular equation, I will take a Fourier transform. Now I'll go to the frequency domain, then I'll compare that with this frequency spectrum representation. So what we get, it is nothing but it is half of this m of t by 2, which is given by 1 by 4. Okay, m of t is multiplied by these two terms right here. M of t multiplied by cos 2 pi f1 minus flt, and m of t is multiplied by cos 2 pi f1 plus flt. That means the spectrum of this m of t is shifted by this much of frequency, or frequency shifted by f1 plus flt. Correct? So when I apply that particular concept, what I'll get this Fourier transform equation in the frequency domain. That is 1 by 4 m of f of minus m of f minus f1 minus fl plus m of f plus f1 minus fl plus 1 by 4. This part here, the frequency spectrum of m of f is shifted by this much frequency. So that's what I have written over here. So if I represent this graphically, what I'll get is the same representation what I have shown here. Okay, that is, this particular term is this, okay, as well as the mirror image, I can say this image, and this particular term where the frequency is given by f1 plus fl, okay, is upward translation, you can say this, and this particular representation. Okay, now because I'm explaining a down conversion here, that means I have to choose which particular term. I have to choose the down conversion, that is this particular term, or in the spectrum domain, this is the thing what I want to choose. So what I will do is I will pass this particular signal to a band pass filter which has the response which is given by, let us say this is the response. Okay, I designed with a certain cutoff frequency over there. Okay, I want to choose only this particular spectrum. Okay, so next I'll pass this signal through a band pass filter. So after passing through a band pass filter, what I will get is I'll get a new frequency, let us say f2, which is given by f1 minus fl. Only this particular part is allowed by the band pass filter. Or in the time domain, the equation is given by s2 of t is equal to m of t by 2 cos of 2 pi f1 minus flt. That means this particular part I can say, right? m of t by 2 cos of 2 pi f1 minus flt. That is in the time domain. This is in the frequency domain, I can say. This portion is frequency domain. So this is how I can convert in the down direction. Now the frequency is decreased. So wherever you require, let's say, I'll give you an example of this where exactly the down conversion is required. The down conversion is actually required in the super heterodyne receivers. In the receiver, where we convert the RF radio frequency into the intermediate frequency. There we use this heterodyne operation, that is a mixer and a local oscillator, what we use actually to down convert into the lower frequency, that is intermediate frequency. Okay. Now, see, in this form of translation or a mixing operation, what exactly we did is we got a new frequency which is given by F2 is equal to F1 minus Fn. So if I rearrange this particular equation and let us decide what should be the local oscillator frequency, that is FL is. FL is nothing but it is F1 minus F2. Okay, so this process is actually called as frequency down conversion. So as I told earlier, if I want to choose, say, if I want to increase the frequency, okay, in the upward direction, I want to choose this particular spectrum. In that case, the only thing is how you design the bandpass filter that decides which component is allowed by the bandpass filter. Whether you are increasing the frequency or decreasing the frequency, it depends on the cutoff frequencies of the bandpass filter. So in that case, if I go with say cutoff frequency of lower cutoff frequency and upper cutoff frequency of this much, okay, and if I design a bandpass filter which has characteristics something like this, in that case, simply saying the frequency is actually upconverted or it is increased. Okay, so in the upconversion process, the local oscillator frequency should be equal to what? It is F2 minus F1, or the output frequency F2 is given by F1 plus Fn. So in this case, I can say that the frequency is now upconverted. Okay, so this is how actually we either upconvert or downconvert the frequency. So this upconversion is actually required in the transmitter most of the time, and downconversion is required in the receiver. Okay, that is converting the RF into the IF frequency. So this is very simple operation what we have understood, and same thing the operation we are actually using the SSB also, where product modulator, bandpass filter, which is basically used to change the frequency of the incoming signal. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.